want to talk about a couple of things I think could really be improved as far as breaching mechanics, and use of the shotgun as a breaching tool. Most people play the shotgun in most groups, it seems like, unrealistically, where you points on the door and you have almost full access into the room from a distance, which obviously very unrealistic. I don't know any shotgun that can blast a door wide open. I can fire in beanbags at it, right? Unless it's a beanbag shotgun. But more realistically, you'd want to roll up and try to defeat the door throw, right? So this, and then you'd probably kick it the rest of the way once it was defeated. But first problem we have is once I've done that, it opens to a 45-degree angle. Not really realistic for a locked door you just blasted a shotgun round through, or breaching round through, right? This makes it so I can't kick the door. Simple remedy I think could be implemented is just to not have the first shotgun blast for the breaching shotgun on a door open the door 45 degrees, right? It should open it as much as a peak. That gives you, you know, in-game verification that the lock is defeated and the door is now movable, right? But also gives you the option to kick the door open or throw it open, depending on what you want to do after you've breached that door, right? So shoot, opens a little bit, kick, boom. And now I'm minimally exposed into this room from that, right? If you look here, right? Nobody aside from the dude in this very far corner can even see a little bit of me. I'm exposed for a short period of time, and it works. I think that that's how it should be done. Another thing that could be improved on is potentially the compression of the shotgun, right? In real life, you'd get as close to the door as you can, so you're not going to miss, right? And blast it, which once you've done that and kicked the door open, if you look from here, there's even less exposure into that room. It's almost none. Right? Most you can see is an elbow in the furthest corner. Sure, if you're all the way over here or something, you might see it, but mostly whoever's behind that door is going to stay behind that door right there. So if they could up the compression on the weapon system, it's another option, so you can get closer to the door, and then the door can potentially open more and still be kickable. But I think the easiest fix is just to make it so the first shotgun blast on a door doesn't swing it open 45 degrees, right? It should be more like a hit, and it just lets you know that it's there. And if players still want to do the meta thing of just blasting the door open more, make that second hit push it close to 70, like it always does. But the first hit should be a little bit more like a peak. It's just my 2 cents. I also think that really to defeat the lock, you should shoot it where the door is locked, right? If we're going to play this kind of realistically, so there should be like a sweet spot on the door. It's essentially a chunked out area of most of the doors in game. If you do shoot a destructible door, that is the only spot you can shoot to defeat it, right? You can shoot here all you want, but it shouldn't open the door. That gives a level of skill required or some sort of knowledge required to do this in game that isn't totally, you know, time involved to learn and do, but it just makes sense. It means you can't just walk up here and shoot it from here. I guess you could, but I think we could just make it a little bit more immersive and a little bit more realistic, where you need to shoot this side of the door in some way, right? You shoot this side of the door, you shouldn't do anything. Except for, I think what could also be added is hinge breaching of the door, where, for game's sake, we'll say the doors all have just 2 hinges to defeat. In the top corner and the bottom corner on the hinge side. That when the door then stays kind of where it is. Might deform a little bit. You might have some chunking of the door to give you an idea that those hinges were defeated. But then you can kick the door, and instead of swinging, it would do what it does when it's blown up. Instead of blowing it off the hinge, you kick it off the hinge into the room. So you could roll up on the hinge side, kick the door into the room, and enter. I think that would just add a little bit more fun, a little bit more tactical options, and different gameplay mechanics that the breaching shotgun can bring to really separate it from using the battering ram. Because as it is, the breaching shotgun is just a battering ram at a distance, right? When the door's open, rather than walk up to it and hit it with the battering ram once and the door's open. To go along with that, I think that you could probably just debuff the battering ram a bit. Like, is it realistic that no matter what the door, no matter where you hit it with the battering ram, in one hit it swings fully open? That seems a little just, I don't know, immersion breaking, a little bit too gamey. I think there should be a little bit of RNG added to the battering ram, where it's between 1 and 3 hits to break open a door. Obviously, the weaker doors could be, you know, more guaranteed likelihood of low hits, as opposed to the metal reinforced doors in some of the maps, right? But just walking up anywhere and I can just hit this at any angle and it swings it wide open, just seems kind of just unrealistic, right? Should also have something of a sweet spot. It's either the center of the door here, you know, you hit, will do it, which forces you to kind of expose to the enemy when you're going to break the door down. It's the downside of using this, but it's quick entry into any room. There's some downside and some sort of considerations tactically to take into account. Or having it be on the handle itself again, this little area around the handle to be the defeat point, right? There you're not as exposed, right? But it might take you 1 or 2 hits to really break through a secured door. I think that would make it a lot more realistic, not game breaking, nothing that really has to be redesigned to work in the way I'm discussing, right? Make it so the hit points on the battering ram is either here or the center of the door. You can't walk up and hit the hinge unless you're going to hit it like 5 times to break the hinge, and then it should have the same effect of when you go through the door, you either push it down with your hand or you can walk it down, but it will flop down as if it does when you place C2 on it, right? I think that would just add a whole another level of immersion, skill, and tactical decision making to the game for what I believe is the most important object in the entire game, is the door, right? Without the doors, it's just run through all the doors are the biggest obstacle in our way to, you know, eliminating the bad guys. And I think that they should be treated as a very important set piece in the game and treated as best as possible. Anyways, that's my rant on doors. If anybody has any other comments or points they'd like to bring up, I'd love to hear them. Thank you.